President Trump hosted the president of El Salvador at the White House today. He responded to questions about a Maryland man who was deported to his country and in the process stirred up more concern for advocates here in Massachusetts. NBC 10 political reporter Matt Pritchard is here with the details on that meeting today. Matt.
Yeah, Glenn, this meeting sent both sides to their corners, some growing more uneasy, while others contend this proves the administration's policies are working. Striking an action-oriented tone.
You cannot just, free the criminals and think crime's going to go down magically.
You are helping us out, and we appreciate it.
President Trump meeting with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele, praising the South American leader for his willingness to receive deportees and leaving little daylight in the case of Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man sent away due to an administrative error.
That neither Secretary of State nor the president could be compelled by anybody to forcibly retrieve a citizen of El Salvador.
White House officials and President Bukele remaining defiant, even with the Supreme Court ruling directing the administration to facilitate Garcia's return.
How can I return him to the United States? Like, I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, the question is preposterous.
The exchange causing concern for advocates in Massachusetts.
President Bukele, he said, it's not under my responsibility. So let's see what happens in the end of the day. Because we're talking about separation.
Do you have hope that maybe things will get better, that they'll change?
Let's hope something positive come, because it's been a difficult time all these days.
But GOP strategists say these one-off incidents shouldn't be the focal points.
I think anytime there's a mistake that involves a human life, it's unfortunate, but I don't think it's going to derail their immigration plans going forward.
A perspective shared by President Trump, who plans to maintain his approach.
Because you want to stop crime, and so do we.
As for Abrego Garcia, the Trump administration continues to say he's an MS-13 gang member, arguing the Supreme Court's ruling does not require them to take added steps unless El Salvador chooses to release Garcia. In the studio, Matt Pritchard, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Matt, a lot to unpack here. For more, let's go to NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell. Sue, let's talk about this meeting. For a lot of Americans, this will be the first time they're seeing this president from El Salvador. How do you think this initial meeting went? And what does it mean for us as we go down the road with these two countries and these two leaders?
Well, this meeting showcased Trump's defiance of the Supreme Court regarding Garcia's deportation. And by deferring to Bukele, who has jailed 85,000 Salvadorians without due process, Trump is signaling his admiration for authoritarian tactics. And despite human rights concerns, Bukele is popular. I mean, he's cleaning up a lot of crime there that people in El Salvador are very concerned about. That may be inspiring to Trump, but the United States is not El Salvador. But what I found most troubling was Trump's openness to sending American criminals to Salvadorian prisons. And that would suggest that he would bypass judicial oversight. So if you're wondering what a future America may look like, you just look towards El Salvador.
Yeah, taking American citizens to El Salvador is something to definitely keep an eye on. All right, let's talk about tariffs. Trump introduced tech devices, including smartphones and computers, will be exempt from that 125% tariff on Chinese imports. Many people can't keep up with this thing day to day. I'm struggling myself. What do you make of these constant changes to the tariff plan?
Glenn, it is whiplash, and it's causing business owners and manufacturers and even consumers a huge amount of uncertainty. And if there's one thing that's definitely bad for the U.S. economy, it's uncertainty. So if we take Trump at his word that one of the reasons for the tariffs is to bring production back to the United States, well, business leaders have concerns about that. According to a new CNBC supply chain survey, most companies indicate that Trump's tariffs will not trigger a U.S. manufacturing resurgence because the cost of reshoring would be more than double the current expenses, and companies will instead seek low-tariff countries to move to. And nearly three-quarters of the surveyed companies cite prohibitive costs as the main barrier to reshoring production. 61% said it would be more effective to go to another country than return to the United States. So many business leaders are still wondering what the point of these tariffs are.
Sounds like another mind-spinning week ahead.
Indeed.
NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell, thanks again for your insight.
You're welcome, Glenn.